Okay, everybody, I am excited to do this comparison video. It was asked for by NQ Trader 33. They were wanting a comparison of my funded futures versus fast track trading. Let's get into this. And again, guys, if you want to get any comparisons of any two funded companies, just let me know and I will compare them. In this video, we compare two funded companies, My Funded Futures and Fast Track Trading, analyzing their funding models, trader benefits, and performance to help you make an informed decision. Overview of My Funded Futures. Their simulated challenge program aims to provide traders with an opportunity to trade without risking their own capital. You trade however you want, subject to certain rules and conditions. Highlights: starter and expert accounts, no PA fees, end-of-day drawdown, updates, no longer work with Rhythmic, an updated micro scalping rule. That's kind of big, guys. So if you haven't watched that review video already on My Funded Futures, go back and take a look at it. One of the reasons that I crossed them off my list was the micro scalping rule. I said in that video that you couldn't be in a trade for less than 15 seconds. And, you know, I spoke about my trading style and how, you know, the way I trade and trading through stop losses. Basically, at any point in time, my TP1 could be hit pretty briskly, right? So that was a rule that didn't work so well for me. And then also, my stop loss goes one tick into profit. If it were to hit TP1 and then come back and hit my stop loss, one tick in profit, you wouldn't be abiding by their 5-point rule. The new rule states, and I'm going to read it, and everybody think about it as you will, but this is definitely going to be, you know, a company worth considering for me now. The new rule says the removal of micro scalping restrictions on starter plans unless you are averaging a hold time of sub 15 seconds and sub 5 points, nothing to worry about. Individual micro scalps are never an issue. Right? So what this means to me is as long as you're not trading that way all the time. So I think what they're really trying to, you know, keep away from is high frequency trading. And of course, you know, normally that's done bots, things of this nature. That's not how I'm trading, but there are times that, you know, it could hit TP1 and then continue on. I'm in the trade longer. There are times that it could come back and hit me at +1. I mean, a lot of times you get the runner, especially if you have hit your TP1 in 15 seconds or less, you know. Normally, you're definitely going to have a runner at that point. So I think this kind of clears up some of the worries that I had. Again, you take that for what it is and decide what works for you and what doesn't. The first update, I guess, because we went over the second one first. No longer working with Rhythmic. For some of you guys, that's going to be, you know, a con. You can still use different platforms, but not the platforms that are only Rhythmic connections. So that's going to be an issue for some of you out there. I was actually asked in the comment section of the My Funded Futures video, you know, they said, I use Sierra, so I'll no longer be able to use Sierra now. And that's true. You won't be able to use Sierra charts anymore with a Rhythmic connection. So that is definitely a con for you that, you know, use Rhythmic and prefer those connections. That's something that you definitely going to have to consider here. Overview of fast track trading. They are for traders with a proven record looking to scale their activities. They are a global platform with no geographical restrictions and offer clear, straightforward trading terms without hidden fees. Highlights: direct to funded, no PA fees, 20 accounts per trader, updates. And this, if you watch the first fast track trading video, Bookmap was not one of the platforms that they offered. This is a big update for them. They now offer Bookmap. So for you guys out there that love using your heat maps, love using Bookmap, this is definitely consideration. And when we put out the tick video, I believe we even said then that they were one of the only ones that offered Bookmap. So Fast Track Trading now indeed offers Bookmap as well. Account types and pricing. As you can see, you got a couple different kinds of accounts here. When you look at the My Funded Futures side, you have the starter accounts and the expert accounts. The starter accounts, they have a daily loss limit, and the expert accounts do not. Pause the video, look at the difference between the two, look at your contract sizes. The starter account, you scale in, you get bigger contracts as you go. The expert account, you're able to trade with maximum contracts in the beginning. There's little differences between both of them. Neither one of them have an activation fee. Both of them are end of day. So, take that for what it is. Fast Track, on the other hand, you guys already know, these are direct accounts. So you're straight to funded. You're straight to making money immediately. And again, they got the Rally account, the Daytona, the GT, the Le Mans. That's kind of a comparison of what the accounts are. My Funded Futures, you have to do that eval first, right? And so you have that first phase, if you will, that you have to complete that before you go to your next phase and are actually funded. To where Fast Track, you're straight funded. You don't have to pass your evaluation phase first, so you're straight to funded. There's going to be a little more price when you look at both of these, right? When you look at direct to funded, well, it's going to cost more money than if you have to do an evaluation phase first. So you're saving yourself a little bit of money, taking a little bit more time, but it's really up to you which option you prefer here, right? Payouts and withdrawals. So My Funded Futures has 5 minimum trading days and a minimum of $100 withdrawal for their starter plan. No minimum trading days and a minimum of 1,000 on the expert. And the expert does have a buffer zone requirement. All right. Fast Track, 5 days payout option for the first account. And we went over that in the Fast Track video. Basically, the first account, you can get a payout as quick as 5 days. Only the first account. After that, it's 10 days. But with that rule, you have to keep your 20% consistency and make 5%, right, of your account. So you can withdraw a $250 minimum. So that's their minimum withdrawal, right? Buffer zone for the first payout. So you do have to keep their buffer zone as well. You can request a payout every 10 days. With My Funded Futures, you can request a payout every 14 days. So a little bit of difference there. Not a lot. 90-10 profit split after the first 10K. So the first 10K of My Funded Futures you get 100% of. On Fast Track, it's 90-10 split after going live. So during the time that you're not live, it's 100%. You don't have to do any split. So compare them how you will, right? My Funded Futures has a 40% consistency rule for the starter and no consistency rule for the expert. Fast Track has a 20% consistency rule. 1 to 7 business days, depending on the method for Fast Track's payment options. So it's anywhere between 1 and 7, depending on which method you go with. I believe crypto was the fastest, which was 1 to 2 days or something around there. My Funded Futures, it's 1 to 3 days. Okay, platforms. Now, My Funded Futures, these are the platforms on their site. As we just discussed earlier, they no longer have Rhythmic data feed. All these aren't going to be available. You're going to have to actually check with them and see. Obviously, you're going to get Trade of 8, Ninja Trader through Trade of 8. Any of your CQG connections will work because that's what they're going to be using, right? So Trade of 8, things like that. Sierra charts, those aren't going to work. Anything that is with a Rhythmic connection is not going to work. Fast Track, on the other hand, they do have the Rhythmic connection. They're the other side of this, right? the CQG connections, they don't have. So they don't have Tradeovate yet. So you can't work through TradingView. You don't have a Tradeovate connection. Also, the NinjaTrader connection, their Rhythmic connection does not work on NinjaTrader. So it's just one of those things. So it is coming soon, but as of right now, it's not working. You do have Quant Tower, Addis, Bookmap, Sierra Charts, RTrader Pro, you know, all those are available through your Rhythmic connection. Trading instruments. All right, and here's, you know, pause the video here if you really are concerned about one specific trading instrument. Make sure that it is on this list. I mean, they both offer a variety of trading instruments. It looks like Fast Track has more. It could be, you know, the way it's laid out there, because it says equity futures, interest futures rather than CME, COMEX, so on and so forth. So make sure that your actual instrument that you prefer to trade is on there. For me, you know, I trade NQ, ES, and gold. That's really it. So, and all these companies offer those three instruments. I haven't seen one that doesn't. But if you have a specific instrument that you trade that is, you know, I can call it exotic instruments, right? And that's something you want to trade, then make sure that they offer it here. Restricted countries. And as you can see here, and, you know, we kind of hinted at it in the very beginning when we were going over Fast Track, they are pretty much everywhere. They have very few restricted countries that you can't trade in, to where you look at the other side for my funded futures, there's several countries that are restricted from them, right? So if you live in a country that's on the left of this list, you know, you're not going to be able to trade with my funded futures. So if you're considering between these two, Fast Track may be, you know, the only option that you have if these are the two that you're trying to figure out between. If there's two other companies that you want me to explore and review, just let me know and I'll get those out as well. But they do have a long list of countries that are restricted on the My Funded Futures side, and Fast Track, you see, it's a very short list. Pros and cons, guys. Let's look at this. No activation fees for either company. So that's nice. You know, Fast Track straight to funded. My Funded Futures, you got evaluation, but it's all one price. So there is no activation fees. With that, let's consider one more thing, because here is something that is a consideration that probably isn't, you know, quite looked at here. My Funded Futures, if you don't pass your evaluation in the first 30 days, well, it's a monthly fee, right? Nothing that's really been hit on before now, but it's a monthly fee. So the first month you pay your fee for whatever size account you get. The next month, you're going to do the same. To where Fast Track, it's one time. You pay it, you're already funded. It's not a monthly fee. One thing to consider there is 90-10 split on both of them, both pros. First 10K is 100% yours. The other is, you know, before you go to live, that's 100% yours. My Funded Futures has no minimum trading days on the expert account. You know, that's pretty good. Instant funding on the Fast Track side. Obviously, you're straight to funding. You don't have to worry about evaluation stage. You can request payouts every 14 days on My Funded Futures. Every 10 days on Fast Track. On Fast Track, news trading is allowed. You can see on My Funded Futures, that's not a pro on that side. So if you go down to the cons, you can see there, news trading prohibited. 2 minutes before or after. So you have to have your position closed 2 minutes before news, and you can't open a position until 2 minutes after news. So if you guys prefer news trading, you know, this My Funded Futures might not be a company that you really want to go with. If you're trying to consider between these two, Fast Track may suit you better. There's no consistency rule for the expert account on My Funded Futures. Again, we go to the cons on the Fast Track side. 20% consistency rule. That is one of the things that we've talked about a few times in the funded company video series, because some people have said, you know, how you can't even get lucky with a funded company. Once you're on your PA account, if you have a lucky day, you have to stop trading. You can't continue to trade because of their consistency rules. There are a lot that have consistency rules. That is absolutely a fact. However, there have been a handful as well that have absolutely no consistency rules for the PA accounts. So again, just whatever works better for you, right? Copy trading is allowed on both of these companies. There's no daily loss limit on the expert, no daily loss limit on fast track. So it's only the expert account on the My Funded Futures side, though. You have a daily loss limit on your starter account. And this is one of those funny things because I gotta be honest with you. As I've been, getting people's thoughts and insights on this whole, video series, moving away from Apex and the buildup of all this, there are a lot of people who really prefer the daily loss limit. So on all your platforms, you can set that up. So it's no big thing one way or another. You should be able to set up a daily loss limit. Believe it or not, some people find it a pro to have that daily loss limit. They claim it's like a safeguard of blowing their account. It seems very funny to me just because, I feel like you should be able to say, okay, well, I'm only going to trade X today, some kind of rule set, right? Like I'm only going to take 2 losing trades, or I'm only going to lose $500 and then walk away. But I guess maybe it doesn't work for everybody. I'm not sure. End of day drawdown on both. So that's something that people really like. I know. Let's get into the cons now. No overnight trades on My Funded Futures. They auto close any positions at 4:10 p.m. New York time. On Fast Track, no overnight trades. Auto close at 4:15 p.m. and they charge you a $25 fee per contract. Keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you've closed the positions, honestly. You don't want to trade overnight. On My Funded Futures, 1 trade per week to keep funded account active. And again, one of those things, I don't think that's too bad. We talked about the Lilu, where you have to trade 12 days a month. I think that's much harder than, 4 trades a month. So I think everybody could probably swing the 1 trade per week, but I want to make sure we still did include that on here. Con of Fast Track, again, we said the 20% consistency rule. So you guys already know that. Daily loss limit on the starter on My Funded Futures. Again, we already know that. We went over the restricted countries. My Funded Futures has many restricted countries. So that is a big con for people who live in those countries, obviously, right? They are newer. Fast Track is a newer company, so that's put under cons. Obviously, as they get well established, build a track record, that won't be a con anymore, and everybody starts out that way, but it's still a consideration, right? Which company is right for you? And this is a question, right? You've been over all of it. Leave me a comment down in the comments section. Which one is right for you and why? Let me know why you like which company better. If you have anything that you want to know about each of them, let me know. My Funded Futures, for my final thoughts, is better for beginners because you've got that evaluation stage. You're not straight to funded. You can take that stage to learn and continue on. You're not blowing your account. So essentially, you blow the evaluation count, you continue on, you pay the next month, they reset it, and you continue trying to pass your evaluation until you finally do. They do offer cheaper accounts, obviously, because you have that evaluation stage first. You must pass the evaluation stage, obviously. You're only allowed 3 funded accounts. Now, this could be, a plus or a minus, depending on, how you do things. I like to copy trade. Across multiple accounts. Is 3 fine? Yeah, it could be, right? Fast Track. Better for experienced traders. Again, you're going straight to funded stage. So in that, you want to be ready for that because the accounts do cost more. So you want to make sure that you're ready to go funded, start working, start making money, or at least consistent, right? Because you are direct to funded. They do offer 20 accounts. Now that's a super plus. So you can go direct to funded with 20 accounts, grab yourself a copy trader, and copy across all of them. Now you make a $200 trade right now, and that's $200 across 20 accounts. So you just made $4K on that $200 trade. So it's definitely advantage to be able to copy trade across, multiple accounts in that way. As always, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos in the future, consider subscribing. If you want to come and watch me trade live, I trade live every morning, 6 a.m. NY time on YouTube, Kick, Twitch, Rumble, and in the Discord and VC. You can join the free Discord. Everything I do is free, guys. I don't sell any courses. I don't sell any signals. I don't do anything. Everything is free. I offer it all for free. If anybody asks you for money playing like they are me, it definitely is not me. If you know anybody that can get any use out of this video, please share it with them. Have a great day. And as always, stay consistent out there.